I will try.
Now I know this ain't real. No fucking way you're a doctor.
I've heard from your nurse that you're getting worried about your medication again. Do you understand why you take the medicine, Jack?
I'm not crazy. This is just an illusion.
If you know it's an illusion, you could make it go away.
That's not technically true. Illusions are kind of weird. They, I won't go into detail with this with you, James. Just let me go. Yes, the darkness is eating your eyeball right now. I can see it. He's fat. Edward? No, you're dead, so it doesn't matter. It's a very blurry game indeed. Go away, Steam. No one loves you. Well, I love you, but Abe Lincoln.
Something wrong with this place. You're not keeping me here.
Let's just stay chill.
Yeah, let's lose it. Lose it. Come on, let's go kill some people. Yeah.
Jackie, I know you're upset, but I'd like you to use your quiet voice now.
No.
No longer wish to
Quiet
speak to your darkness.
voice.
Fine.
Your quiet voice.
Let me out of here. I gotta take a walk.
All right. Nobody's stopping you. Edward, take him to see Nurse Jenny.
Nobody's stopping me, but you don't get to tell me.
Stay calm, Jackie.
I mean, nobody's stopping me, but I don't get to know where I get to walk. If that makes sense. Wait. What am I doing right now? Uh-oh. Doc? Help? Okay, let's go see Jenny. Walking beside a doctor in an insane asylum. Everyday thing. Everyday thing. Hello. Nurse. And nurse. Nurse NO1 and Nurse NO2. Hello. Well, that was weird. You walked back like a monkey for a second there. There's that staff cane thing. Jenny, hello. Let's do it. Oop, yeah, zoom in right into the boobs. That's perfectly fine. Ooh, ooh,
Jenny,
ooh.
I don't know what this place is, but I'm gonna get us out of here.
Why would I want to get out of here, Jackie? I work here. I'm here to help you.
I'm sure you are. I don't really believe it, but I'm sure you are.
What the fuck is happening?
Hand motions. Yes, very expressive.
It's going to be all right.
Yes, you too. Very expressive hand motions.
Delusions you've been having? You said you were the head of a mob family.
Oh,
and
yeah,
your house was
yep. Under attack. We got
under attack
attacked.
by men trying to steal the darkness from
That
you.
wasn't a delusion. That just happened. I know it did.
I know it feels real, Jackie, but it's...
Jenny, you gotta listen to me. I think this might be hell. And we're trapped here. I'm gonna get us out.
Yes, I'm gonna get us out. That's for sure.
Seems like hell to you sometimes,
Yes, yes.
but it's just a hospital.
Arm.
I want
Sorry, I
you
got
to
angry.
trust me. Everyone here is trying to help you.
I don't know why this is happening, Jenny. You were dead. I saw you die.
We talked about this from
Yes, it's very nice to say to your girlfriend.
You have a hard time
You were dead!
separating fiction from reality.
Saw you
You
die.
have a lot of bad dreams when your serotonin
You have to pause for dramatic. I should be listening. No, you should be reading. You listen to me. Yeah, I shouldn't say that to my viewers. I'll get hated.
Jackie, none of this is real. I'll work out a schedule with Dr. Vic. Play your cards right, and we can see a lot of each other, okay? Jackie, you okay?
No, I'm just gonna lose it.
What? Jenny, you don't understand. You're in real trouble. We both are. We're getting out of here. Now!
Nope. Woof. I'm like, yeah.
Let go of me! Come on. Right, here we go.
No, it wasn't. Obviously, I'm completely losing it. If I'm talking about like hell and the darkness and that I'm a dawn, I'm not. Oh, yes, thank you, Johnny. I love you. You're a good boy.
Get 'em all, would you please?
Go, 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 go. Go, run, go. Power to the people, power to the people. Yes, yes. Yeah. Ooh. Ah.
Slow!
Ah ha ha ha.
He's running for the door!
See, they're like a bunch of idiots. Nobby. Wah. He sounded familiar, didn't he? Oh, I am free at last, yes. Quite freedom.
As long as the bloodline continues, the darkness will always have a new host.
Yes, I know that.
Found that on my 5th birthday. Woke up in the middle of the night with my dad, just sitting on my bed, hovering over me, butcher knife in his hand.
Oh, that's nice.
Still not really sure if the crazy fuck was thinking of putting me out of my misery, or making sure no one else would take his place.
Well, what I would think is he's just quite simply insane, and you're the first person to ever have the darkness because you're special. And I'm special. Hello.
The darkness won't make you die, but I never believed you. It took it 4 days to repair you after you got shot in the face.
Awesome.
Losing my fucking mind.
This is like the 3rd time I've died now, so I mean, it's all good.
They arranged the funeral for your Aunt Sarah today.
God damn it.
Ah,
God damn
body.
it. It's my fault. It's my fault they killed her.
It was that prick Bragg. After he shot you, your Aunt Sarah, Jackie, I'm so sorry.
Jesus. It's all going to shit.
Yes, I agree.
Brotherhood back. Chase them out of here. But you know that wasn't the last of them, right? We can't let the Brotherhood take the darkness, Jackie.
That's
And
not
why
gonna
not?
happen. The darkness. The darkness has Jenny's soul. And it wants these Brotherhood jackoffs dead and the siphon for itself. If I don't play ball, it says it'll keep her forever.
Jackie, that siphon in the darkness's hands is not good. It's too powerful. With the siphon, it could overwhelm you. Take control completely.
Yeah, so
Choice.
I want my Jenny.
Won't let it hurt Jenny.
Exactly.
Jackie, let's take a step back here, okay? Let's think about this. So, what if what if
pancakes.
The darkness plays tricks on you. It makes you see
Sorry, am I
things.
supposed to be paying attention?
It's her. I know it. I feel it.
So, what are you gonna do?
I'm
Ow.
gonna go to my Aunt Sarah's funeral. Then I'm gonna
Sorry, I've got this
chill.
crink in my neck, kind of like you. You're like really
Be
twitchy.
careful, Jackie. The Brotherhood will stop at nothing to get the darkness. Nothing.
Okay. Let's get some points, shall we? What shall we get? Of course, the darkness armor. Oh, so close. I'll get it next spawn point. So, for you guys, because I'm sure some of you must be slightly interested in what all of these are, I shall stop the recording for a second here and set it up so that you so you guys can hear the voices and you can find out what these are all about. So I'm just going to shut up and let you guys read and listen to what all of these are about. And they're really cool, actually. They're quite interesting. So let's do that, shall we?
My puppet.
You know, this isn't the first time the Brotherhood has tried to take the darkness. Yeah, things look bleak right now, but believe it or not, they've done worse. A lot worse. It was a long time ago. So far back, no one knew the Brotherhood even existed. They'd been around, but necessity required they keep a low profile. See, they were watching the darkness, studying it, learning what made it tick. They already knew enough not to fuck with the darkness. So if they were going to move against it, they needed to be totally confident in their knowledge. I have to give them credit. The Brotherhood knew what they were doing. They accurately predicted who the next host would be. Swapping children at birth, they raised the host as one of their own. Then, when he came of age, they chained him to a table and tortured him to death. This is the blinding sun. One of these was inserted into each of his eye sockets, gouging out each eye in the process. Each device was then slowly expanded until it shattered his forehead and cheekbones. This was the first of 12 tortures. The darkness didn't manifest itself until the 4th. That means it took 2 more of these unspeakable acts before the Brotherhood could be certain they had the right guy. That doubt didn't even slow them down. These are bad people, Jackie, and they have it in them to be a whole lot worse. Oh, wow. You seriously have a copy of the True Revelation? I'm impressed, Jackie. Didn't peg you as the reading type. To call this book rare would be laughable. Magic swords, true love, stake. These things are rare. The true revelation is one of a kind. I'm not exaggerating. Every copy is completely different. See, the true revelation is actually the revelation of John, the Bible's explosive summer blockbustering finale. There are 3 schools of thought about the revelation. The first believes it is a literal prophecy. This is retarded. The second believes it's a metaphor for Roman persecution. Plausible, but boring. The third believes it is a code that, once deciphered, will reveal the true revelation. People who believe this tend to be insane, but also extremely fun at parties. Now, everyone deciphers the revelation differently, which is why each copy is entirely unique. Just flipping through this one, it appears to have been deciphered by the Brotherhood. In fact, it predicts the Brotherhood's descent into Crazy Town. That means this is a relatively true revelation. See, we can prove the Brotherhood went crazy, but we can't prove what the revelation predicted. Chances are the man who wrote this copy only saw what he wanted to see inside the revelation. Or he was insane and just poured his depravity onto the page. Like they say, write what you know. Either way, this translation has probably guided the Brotherhood's actions for at least a century. Kind of like the normal Bible still does today, Almost makes you wonder who's crazier.
Yes, quite.
Think back to your high school history class. Wait, did you even go to high school? You know what, forget it. I don't want to argue, nor do I want you to punch me in the face. So I'll just catch you up to speed on some stuff I'm sure you already know. The lost colony of Roanoke was a British colony off the coast of what we now call North Carolina. As the name implies, it disappeared. Okay, the colony, not the island. 115 people just whoosh, gone. Okay, goodbye. To this day, no one knows what happened to them. Well, no one except for me and every other supernatural junkie on the planet. See, the darkness was first carried to North America by one of the colonists. And where the darkness goes, its enemies follow. One of those enemies, the Angelus, came to a nearby tribe of Croatoan natives. Influenced by the Angelus, a Croatoan maid slipped into the colony under cloak of night and massacred the colonists in their sleep. This is the weapon she used, Roanoke's Bane. But the Angelus had been mistaken. The darkness was not in Roanoke, as it was being carried by the colony's leader, John White. John was back in England, procuring more supplies. When he returned to find Roanoke deserted, the darkness knew the Angelus had been there. Unfortunately for the Croatoans, the Angelus had already moved on. They were defenseless when the darkness fell upon them, much like the colonists had been. Fair's fair, I suppose. Okay, I'm looking at this and what I'm seeing is the Chime of Deliverance. But, and mind you, this is a small but, all records of the chime say it was destroyed along with Solomon's Temple back in 586 BC. That said, records have been wrong in the past, so who knows? Maybe it's the real thing. The chime first dates back to the 40-year War, that period of time when Moses and the Israelites fought the darkness in the wilderness. The chime wasn't designed to be a weapon. Instead, it was an instrument of safe passage. According to the secret histories, the chime was carried ahead of Moses' army and struck every 153 steps. Now, any army in history would tell you that ringing a bell nonstop is a bad idea. That's how your enemy finds you. Thing is, the darkness is no ordinary enemy, and the chime is no ordinary bell. You're in the mob. The mob is Italian. Italian's like opera, right? Well, you know how an opera singer can shatter glass by singing a certain note? Well, the Chime of Deliverance does the same thing, except instead of glass, it shatters darkness. The exact pitch has never been identified, but when struck, the chime emits a sound that can physically push back the night. Now, if you want, we can test the chime's authenticity. We just gotta hit it, make it sing. But, and this is a much larger butt. A butt of epic proportions, really. It might disintegrate you. Just saying. This is, well, it's a thumb screw. I don't really know what else to tell you. I mean, this thing is definitely giving off dark energy. But again, we're talking about a device that was used to torture people by slowly crushing their fingers. I'd be scared if it wasn't giving off nasty vibes. What? You want more? Sure. Just give me a second. Okay, I got something. From what I can divine, this thing goes back like 400 years. It was used on a host who was imprisoned by the Brotherhood. Chances are that dark energy I'm picking up is a taint left by the darkness. Meaning this isn't just any thumbscrew, it's an evil thumbscrew, so it hurts more. Maybe. Oh, that's still not enough. Okay, fine. This is the infamous Black Thumb. In 1631, it single-handedly ripped and raped its way across the English countryside, leaving behind a trail of bloody bastards and broken dreams. Never has the world seen such carnage. Pray it never will again. Yes, I am being sarcastic. No, I don't want you to kill me. Okay, I'll shut up.
Okay.
You know, Jackie, this thing inside you, the darkness, to you, it's a curse, but not everyone sees it that way. It's like that old saying, one man's curse is another man's, gimme, 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 gimme. You know, I mean, that's a stupid way to think, obviously. The darkness is the possessor, not the possession. But stupid people do stupid things, which is why many of them have tried to steal the darkness over the years. Lucky for you, I guess, these attempts usually don't go very far. Take this relic, for instance. Over time, it has earned the name the Fool's Phylactery. If you ever played D&D as a kid, looking at your muscles, I will assume you did not. You'd know that a phylactery is like a Tupperware for souls. It keeps them safe, fresh, unspoiled. It also doesn't fucking exist. Nowhere in all the black arts is there such a thing as a phylactery. See, the Fool's Phylactery is a hoax perpetrated by a monk back in the 1600s. He'd had his fill of religion and was looking to cash out, so he crafted this fancy container, forged some ancient scrolls, then sold it to the first rube he could find. That idiot tried to catch the darkness and got eaten instead. You'd think that would be the end of it, but no. 400 years and countless dead later, this shit is still going on. People are fucking idiots. This is why I live in a box, under a bridge.
I'm sure that's why. I don't remember this being here. Oh yeah, because I had to move. How do I get to that then? There.
See this sexy guy right here? This is the Dark Man. As you can tell by the cute little demon heads on either side, the Dark Man was one of your predecessors. In fact, he's the first Darkness host we have any record of. We know there have been hosts before him, but none of them got statues, so fuck them. No one knows who the Dark Man was, or where he came from. All we have to go on is one passage from the Hidden Testament of Moses. If I can paraphrase, it says, he walked out of the wilderness, a dark man who spoke with authority. You know, like James Earl Jones. and those words were black, even the wisest were swayed. Cue 40 years of horror unlike anything the world had ever seen. Oh yeah, you heard that correctly. 40 fucking years. Moses wasn't lost in the desert for 4 decades. He was fighting a war against Mr. Tall, Dark, and Stretchy. Seriously, I mean, what's up with this guy's neck? He's like a giraffe. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, the 40-year war, 40-year war. Before the war had ended, the Dark Man had eaten Moses' heart, which is the real reason Moses never saw the Promised Land. It's also probably why the Dark Man got a statue. I mean, killing Moses is a pretty big deal, historically speaking. This one's a little tricky. You know the story of Noah and the Great Flood, right? Okay, humanity grows wicked, God floods the planet, family survives in a floating zoo. Classic Sunday school. Well, here's what really happened. As you know, the darkness feeds on human suffering. Well, let me tell you, if you think life sucks today, imagine how bad it was back then, before indoor plumbing. The darkness was at an all-you-can-eat smorgasbord of pain, and every meal was making it stronger. Seeing as the Angelus was indisposed at the time, God decided to step in with one of his great ideas. Noah builds the ark, God floods the earth, 99.9% of mankind dies a horrible death, darkness is destroyed. Huzzah! But, did that happen? No, sir! Guess who was waiting once the world is dried off? That's right. Needless to say, the Almighty had a little egg on his face. According to legend, God breathed his remorse into the first seashell that Noah found once he left the ark. That shell became known as Yahweh's Lament. I know, it's a different spelling. It's missing some letters. Place it to your ear and you will hear the voice of God. That said, only the truly mad or the nearly dead can fathom God's almighty words. Which is kind of scary, seeing as how I think I can hear something whispering to me right now. Okay, not gonna think about that right now. Anyway, that's the deal with this thing. It's either Yahweh's Lament or it's a seashell. The world may never know. What you're holding is the very first artistic interpretation of the darkness. Or as it was known then, he who comes with the night. Not the catchiest of names, but pretty good when you consider that most people are still living in caves. Anyway, at this point in history, Cain, Adam's son, as in the Garden of Eden, first guy to ever walk the earth, Adam, had dealt with most of the demons and assorted nasties that still roam the world. But no one had faced the darkness yet. See, God protected Cain from the darkness by making him unkillable. It was a great plan. If you happen to be Cain, everyone else, not so much. Murder didn't stop just because Cain ran out of brothers to bludgeon, so the darkness still had plenty of souls to latch onto. Some legends suggest the darkness was first carried by a son of Lilith. Others say it was a Nephilim, but I don't buy that one. We'd all be dead if that was the case. Not that it matters. Okay, whoever it was, through him, the darkness raped, ravaged, and generally fucked things up. Only the Angelus had the power to face the darkness. All Cain could do was warn people. So he sculpted 12 of these statues, entrusting them to 12 holy men. They carried these statues across the land, spreading word of he who comes with the night. But the darkness did not want to be known. Within a year, it had devoured all 12 of them. The statues were gone, shattered, or lost to time. Well, until now, apparently. Okay, so you know the story of the Ten Commandments, right? Of course you do, okay? Moses went up a mountain to receive God's law. When he came back down, Moses found his people worshiping a new god, the golden cow. But they didn't call it the golden cow, it had a name. But legend says God struck it from man's tongue, never to be uttered again. Nowadays, we just call it the graven image. Well, Moses was pissed, obviously, so he disbanded this little cow cult. Some of his people, being of a progressive mindset, were like, hey, what about freedom of religion, man? To which I assume Moses responded, you're kidding, right? But they weren't. So, led by their high priestess, these, we'll call them cow...
Oh, bloody hell, sorry.
Okay, so you know the story of the Ten Commandments, right? Of course you do, okay? Moses went up a mountain to receive God's law. When he came back down, Moses found his people worshiping a new god, the golden cow. But they didn't call it the golden cow, it had a name. But legend says God struck it from man's tongue, never to be uttered again. Nowadays, we just call it the graven image. Well, Moses was pissed, obviously, so he disbanded this little cow cult. Some of his people, being of a progressive mindset, were like, hey, what about freedom of religion, man? To which I assume Moses responded, you're kidding, right? But they weren't. So, led by their high priestess, these, we'll call them Calvinists, left Moses and went into the desert to worship their graven image. It was there, according to legend, that the Calvinists met a dark man. You can probably guess where this is going. The dark man claimed to speak for the graven image. He said it demanded sacrifice, human sacrifice. These weren't the smartest people. So, it wasn't long before they were cutting out each other's hearts. When they got around to sacrificing the high priestess, she was understandably not too keen on the idea. So, to save her holy ass, she repented to the God of Moses. Surprisingly, this worked. The Angelus descended upon the altar, possessing the body of the high priestess. The dark man escaped. The people didn't. You know, Jackie, you bring me the nicest things. Your methods could be a little less mass murdery, but who am I to argue? Anyway, you wanted to know about this piece. It looks like a panel from the Metatron Stele, I don't know, we're gonna say steel, okay? Which would be amazing if it weren't impossible. See, the Metatron stele was carried down from heaven by Enoch, way back at the start of time. This wasn't easy. The stele was a stone slab, carved directly from the seed of creation. On it was inscribed every revelation Enoch witnessed in heaven. The amount of knowledge contained on just an inch of this thing would shatter our every notion of creation. So, of course, someone fucking lost it. Lucky for us, someone else was smart enough to copy it. Well, parts of it. This is one of those parts. It's called the Sister of Light, and it's pretty important, at least concerning you. Think back to Genesis. There were only two things in the beginning, light and dark. The Bible says God separated the two, turning light into day and darkness into night. But in actuality, the darkness just stayed the darkness, and the light became the Angelus, or, as it was once known, the Sister of Light. What is the Angelus? Well, not to bum you out, but according to legend, it's your other half, Jackie, and all it wants is to rip you open and burn away the darkness. Yeesh. There's just not an easy way to lay them in somebody. Whoa, hold up. Whoa. Whatever you do, for the love of God, don't ever let that blade touch your skin. I mean, what do you think you're doing bringing that here? Well, okay, yes, this is your house, so I guess you can do whatever the fuck you want. But remember, I'm here to help you figure if what you want to do is actually something you don't want to do. Trust me when I say, using that knife falls into the latter category. That's a furba, which on its own is dangerous enough to a guy like you. A furba's blade will pin a demon to the spot. Once that's done, only the person who shanked the demon can free it. Now, it is possible that a normal furba wouldn't be strong enough to bind you, but this is the Trinity. Its blade was forged from the 3 nails that crucified Christ. Not normal! Extremely not normal! If you'd cut yourself with the Trinity, you would have been paralyzed. The only person who could have set you free would have been you, which you wouldn't be able to do because you would be paralyzed. Do you see the paradox here? Come to think of it, you ever decide to touch this stuff, just ask first. All right, nothing big, just a simple, hey, Johnny, is it okay if I touch this? And I'll say, sure, Jackie. That absolutely will not trap you in a never-ending loop of torment. Or I'll say the other thing. You know, no.
Is it me? Is that dead pixel? No. It's my... Why does my crosshair look so derpy? Okay. We do that one and then that one. I know I'm really quiet. I'm supposed to be.
You know, the darkness didn't come from the cradle of civilization. The darkness came from nowhere. which, if you follow the Rothfusian or Rothfussian, I say Rothfussian, okay? Theory, it means the darkness also comes from everywhere. Numerous cultures throughout history make reference to the darkness, even though most of them had never encountered it. For example, take a look at this Aztec totem. An anthropologist would identify it as the key of Mictlan. Mictlan, of course, being the Aztec underworld. This is wrong on an absurd number of levels. Mictlan was a battleground that fed on the souls of the dead. Man, woman, child, didn't matter. They went on to their death prepared to fight, knowing that Mictlan awaited them. Sound familiar to you? It should. It's the darkness. This is just one example out of thousands. Every person since the dawn of time has known instinctually the darkness was waiting. It's why so many of us have a natural fear of the dark. To me, that says something, and I don't think you're gonna like it. Part of me believes the darkness is inside all of us. Just a small bit of essence. It's a part of us. Maybe the darkness came from us. Maybe it's an extension of who we are. I don't know. But I do know that if any of those crazy ideas are even partly true, then the darkness isn't going anywhere, no matter what we do. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed.
This one's cool.
I've waited years to see one of these. 7 years, if we're being honest, and it is not living up to my expectations. You gotta understand, only 12 of these masks were ever made. This is probably the only one still in existence. That's already enough to mark this thing as priceless. But it doesn't stop there. No, sir. These masks were forged by a group of monks known as the Brothers of Men. And we're not talking about run-of-the-mill pacifist monks. The Brothers of Men were hardcore, ass-kicking warrior priests. It was in China, after the fall of the Han Dynasty. The darkness was living in Shu Han, feeding off the War of the Three Kingdoms. Legend suggests that the Angelus appeared to the monks, warning them of the darkness. It doesn't say why the Angelus didn't fight the darkness herself, but it doesn't matter, because the monks, they handled themselves just fine. The monks single-handedly defeated the darkness, using nothing but their fists and these masks. It's said that if a mask caught even the smallest light from the dimmest candle, it would be reflected back 100-fold. The monks were basically walking sunbeams, which sounds goofy when I say it like that, but still, I'm just disappointed to see its magic is long gone. I'm killed to see it in action. Well, not kill, since I guess I'd have to use it on you, and that would be just awkward.
Yes, it would be awkward.